Hey, it's your bud, AVT Pro. So, the elections. What do we know? What have we learned? I just saw President Obama on the elections, and it's challenges with everything. It's challenges, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. So how I feel about it is, first thing, he stabilized the economy. And I don't know why people have forgotten why you don't have a house right now. Why? Was it because of Obama? President Obama? No. President Obama had nothing to do with why you don't have a house. Why your house is in foreclosure. Why did you lose your house? Who had everything to do with that? Answer that question. Who can you pin the blame for that on? Why you don't have a house? I know y'all trying to look at this dude like he's gonna save everybody and stuff like that. And yes, he stabilized the economy. The banks was out of control, and it's very obvious. You guys have forgotten. You've forgotten. You're not dealing with the truth when you think somebody's just gonna fix it. It takes time. You guys have forgotten though. You really have forgotten that. The reason why we have these problems with the environment is because the oil companies, the heads, I'm gonna say, the Bush administration, oil companies and oil families and stuff like that, they took off the limitations and the regulations on what is acceptable for the environment or not. They took those regulations off and they said, free for all, have it your way, make as much money as you want, grubble, devour, kill, destroy, whatever you want to do is okay. No regard for the environment or the people that live in it. That's what happened. And you guys seem to not remember that. That's why, one of the things President Obama had to do is place control back onto those oil industries. And they knew they were wrong. They didn't even give them a fight. They knew they were wrong. Like, okay, party's over. All right, we had our way. And that's what you guys better do, because y'all, the banks and everything, the regulations, it's the common thing that was done for every single industry. Oh, you want it's skipping. All right, I guess I still got to clean on the computer. I got to clean out. I got a lot of work to do. So anyway, it says, oh, you want to make money overseas? You want to take the jobs here? You want to take the steel, the resources and everything? You want to take that overseas and make arrangement with people who would do it less and will pay you? So the big, let's say Sony, they'll, I don't know if it's Sony or not, I'm just saying, because I can't think of a name. Or let's say the people who make the lead, like I have a broom and it's painted yellow. And so every time I go to sweep with that broom, my hand starts to itch really bad because the lead in it is poisonous, because they lowered the standards and they use any kind of old cheap old thing to do it. So I actually have to use rubber gloves unless I get a better broom, but I just went over to the stuff. So there's something to be said about made in America. It's like, okay, yeah, just sell the Americans any old cheap old thing, lead paints to the kids, toys with lead paints, and your kids dropping dead. Y'all forgot about that. Forgot. Amnesia. Just, just don't care no more, Wow. I feel good. I feel smarter. I feel smarter. I never do that, but I feel smarter, you know. So I realize that people just, in a general whole, you know what? I'd hate to be the president to have to rein people in and to remind them. I won't even let it remind you. It's bad because he's like, okay, I'm responsible. He is not responsible for all, you know, why your foreclosure, why these trade agreements. You know, they literally get tax incentives to take your jobs overseas. Think about it. Think. They literally get a tax break to unemploy you. It's that. That's what it is. Fully what it is. For you to go broke and lose your house, somebody else makes money on it. That's what it's about. So basically he had to say, okay, no more of this. And then and this is what he's talking about on his speech. You know, it's like, okay, you know, so we had to set the regulations for the auto industry, for people taking jobs over the seas, for banks to charge you anything, for healthcare. Remember Little House on the Prairie? I mean, I remember it, and I'm not that old. Not that old. I mean, 40 years, you know, that's not so bad. I mean, 48, I'm almost 50. So that's not so bad, you know. I mean, I don't work out and do all the things I should do, but I probably could, you know. So at least in my time, I was so 10 years before that, Little House on a Prairie. You know, Little House on the Prairie, when they had the doctor, and the doctor would go around the village and heal people and help them and you know, make things better in their life and care about them. Now they charge you $300 for a little bottle that is sent for illness that won't do anything. For just like, okay, it's antibiotics. You really could get better without it, but it's $300. $300. Yeah. Remember that when they used to try to actually heal you? You know, so all of these regulations have been placed, and all of these, the Republicans let them go buck wild. You know, the Bush administration took all the regulations, the airplanes falling out of the sky, you know, everything, and took the jobs and then allowed them to make, you know, all the electronic equipment, you know, the stereo equipment, jobs that should be yours, you know, yours, technology jobs, stereos. I mean, and the thing about it is, they're better at us at it now, you know, now that they're doing it, now they have the edge on it. You know, now, as he said, their computer systems are the best. People don't even know that the FCC, President Obama, has hooked up the infrastructure. It takes infrastructure. Get people around, get them to their jobs, you know, faster, get them to the train, let people be able to do business quicker, you know. And really, it starts jobs. I was just studying, and I may have employed 5 people over the last few years, you know. I mean, for real, in Buffalo. You know, there's not even an industry here. I made one, you know, basically, you know, from basically studying and taking the hard road first. These are people, the average American, and I understand that. Again, I got to clean this computer up. But it's just amazing, you know. So how do you get? So the American people is frustrated because the average Joe is frustrated because their jobs and went overseas for 10 years, been going overseas for 10, 15 years under the previous administration. And then they want the jobs to come back in less than 2 years. no wonder they got them in the first place, because that's not good thinking. Sister Sunshine was talking about you shouldn't guilt or shame people and stuff like that, or judge them. I haven't put them. If I was judging them, anyway. I'm just saying, because that's all it is talk. I'm expressing my opinion, which is free, because it's a free country, and it's the only thing free in it is my opinion, is your opinion and mine. So, anyway, so the question is how do you get those jobs back after letting them go out and giving people tax rate? You got to give a huge tax cut for people who are developing jobs, who are developing work and stuff like that. You have to make it attractive for them to say, okay, we got to set up shop in my hometown now, or we got to set up shop in this part of the country. Where there might be some cheap housing, or the land is cheap, to where it's easy for them to move. Because, the rich will take their money in a second. They take their money out of the economy in a second and go somewhere else. Everybody knows that. So if they don't get a tax break, they'll go somewhere else where they can, Florida or wherever. So you just make an area where the rich can get a huge tax break for setting up business. I mean, huge. Make it to their advantage for them to set up shop instead of sending them jobs overseas, and do it quickly. Is this a shame? People want you to turn out, 15 years. 15 years. I mean, it's literally. I don't. It was like this. I don't watch the news, so maybe I'll just catch the highlights, like the highlight football. I don't watch sports either, so maybe I just catch the highlights. And the highlights is auto industry. Bush takes regulations off of auto. I think this will even post, and then immediately afterwards, then you have. So you take the regulations out the auto industry, and then immediately after you have greenhouse problems. It's like, I mean, the shortest distance of a line is A to B. This is A to B. So I don't understand why people don't get that. That's what bothers me. I don't understand why they can't see it. Unless I got something to brag about. Anyway, God bless you. I love you all. Y'all know that, right? I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't love y'all.